The current recession, we know, is affecting people across the country in different ways. One man is on a mission to understand what people are going through, and he's doing it in a pretty unusual way. Andrew Fu quit his job back in February, sold all of his possessions, and then hit the road to visit all of the lower 48 states. His goal? Experience life through the eyes of many different people. And Andrew's trip brings him to Minnesota, this leg of his journey. He's in our studios this morning. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Tom.
Nice to have you here. And I noticed right away you were wearing a Huntington, West Virginia Fire Department shirt. I'm guessing you got that from that actual group there in Huntington.
Yeah, absolutely. I was walking the streets after a police memorial, and I met a fireman there, and one thing led to another, and I ended up living with them for a few days at the fire station.
Well, let's set the stage here. We know that you were out of college about 4 years, a software engineer, doing pretty well, it sounds like, in California.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you get this epiphany to do this kind of one-year tour? Was this something you wanted to do for a while?
Yeah, it's just been a dream of mine to just hit the road, take it day by day, and not know what happens next. And I really asked myself, how do I make that happen? And the conclusion, well, I got to leave everything behind.
Right, and I'm sure Mom and Dad weren't probably too keen on that idea. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, absolutely. They tried everything in the book to get me to stay, but it was in my blood. I just knew I had to go.
Well, and obviously you're going at a time when we know that there are tough economic times throughout the country. And I was asking you in the break about, is there a common thread that you're finding with people in the recession? And some areas, I guess, are more affected than other areas you found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's just different unemployment rates throughout the country. I found it especially hard for people who are in Detroit, people who are in some places of New Hampshire, just people really hammered, and they were really downcast.
Yeah. And could you tell with their spirit? It seemed like they were just really kind of down in the dumps most of the day. And were they trying to rally, or was it harder for those folks in those tougher, harder hit areas?
Some people take it in very different ways. Especially if you have a family, it's much tougher for you because you have a wife and kids to take care of. But if you're single, then those people took it as kind of, well, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a time for me to relook at my life and see how I can kind of reposition it to see what I want to do in it.
And when they hear what you're doing, and you're also blogging every day about this, and people are following you along online, are they more open to you to say, oh, well, okay, you're trying to get the finger on the pulse of what's going on in the country, so are they more open to wanting to talk to you?
Yeah, I think the bottom line is that, everyone has dreams they want to follow. And my hope is that my journey can be an inspiration for others to follow their own dreams. I mean, this is a dream of mine, and I just boldly took the step and said, you know what? I'd rather have no regrets in life than have security in something.
And sit back when you're an old guy like me and go, well, what if? What if? And Andrew, we were looking at your blog there and some of the interesting graffiti in one area, some incredible graffiti that you found. And where was that? Was that in New York?
Oh, there was one in Baltimore and there was one in New York. I met a local graffiti artist in Baltimore, and he showed me way around Baltimore areas and some of the really good graffiti they have.
Now, what are we know that I was looking on the blog, I saw that you had a crash that was pretty bad. I know it totaled your vehicle, but thankfully you walked away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in West Virginia. They have very, very windy roads there. And on one of the bends, I lost control. I overcompensated, and because of the high center of gravity of the vehicle, it flipped. It was a nightmare. I actually had to hitch a ride 150 miles up to Pennsylvania because there was just no rental cars around the day before Memorial Day weekend. And drove all the way back, gathered what was left, and headed to D.C. to get a new vehicle.
And obviously, that's probably the biggest difficulty you've encountered. What are some of the other difficulties you faced?
The common question I get asked: how do you shower? How do you work out? Go to the gym?
You did shower this morning, I hope, my friend.
It's not so hard to get around. There's a lot of public facilities that are offered, public pools.
And do people open their homes to you sometimes, too?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of benevolent people I've met on the road, and so they've graciously offered me a place to stay, some showers.
So you have a little bit more of your journey. How much more time do you have? And then we know you're blogging about it right now. Is this something you'd like to write about as well? And I noticed by your blogging you're a good writer, so is that something you hope to do, maybe put it down in a book form?
Oh, possibly. You know what? Now that I'm on TV, if there are book publishers out there,
there you go.
Yeah, if you're
go to
interested,
Andrew's website.
yeah, hit me up with a book contract. It's been very interesting how just seeing the diversity of people out there, and the reason I started the blog was really to get people thinking about different things in life. Not everyone has been blessed with the same opportunities I have, so I just want people to live vicariously through it if they can't do this type of trip. And if they can, well, go ahead and step out and do it.
Yeah, a life-changing journey. Well, Andrew, thanks so much. Happy travels, safe travels to you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for stopping by Minnesota. Get some good hot dish while you're here. All right. All right. To learn more about Andrew and follow along with his journey, you can log on to his blog. It is fu.com, foo.com. Is that right?
Where is
the foo? Oh,
.com.
I'm sorry. Where is the foo.com? Where is the foo? There it is, .com.